Welcome to the bold analysis. The former Deputy President Rigathi-Kalonzo made one statement on Sunday, and so the president have taken a whole week in Western Kenya, combing through villages responding to Rigathi-Kalonzo. And without mincing my words, I think I've seen in the comment section some of us saying it is time for the president urgently to fly back to Nairobi and leave the contractors to work in Western so that he can go back and launch complete projects. He will go back after they're complete. Because what he's doing in Western Kenya is running some political conmanship. That is a bit harsh, but probably that is the right word. There is a gentleman. Kindly support the Charles appeal. We helped Charles when he was stuck in the hospital last year. He had suffered meningitis, but then he was transferred to Mama Lucy. I seen one of the subscribers here saying he treated him. Charles passed on. And so for the last 1 month, the body is still lying there with little prospects of burial. So they reached out to us. So we are supporting them so that tomorrow morning we can hand over a check of 100,000 to them so that they can be able to bury the body of Charles. The body is still detained there. I want to say thank you. We're still running a deficit of 28,000 to help us achieve that. So kindly let's support, and I believe that we finish this so that we'll do our first year project. I honestly believe, back to this, that what the Kenya Kwanza Battalion is doing in Western Kenya is conmanship and political conmanship. And I want to show you this. Yesterday, Kalonzo Musyoka echoed the question from Salasia about the bonuses. And I listened to Kalonzo Musyoka press briefing. Kalonzo was speaking in Nairobi. It is high time they also stop those press releases and start going to the field. And he asked whether the bonuses came from the company or they're just State House tokenism. Remember, they're not even within the budget. They're not from the national budget. A rally was organized today, and instead of the president just clarifying and saying that they are from the company, which I don't believe so, I wanted to look at the tone. The president is speaking very angry when he's asked this question.
Wakulima wa miwa. Sasa mimi nashangaa ati kuna viongozi wanauliza ati mbona serikali imesaidia kampuni ya Mumias mpaka imelipa bonus wakulima wa miwa. Kwani mkulima wa miwa si Mkenya? Mkulima wa kahawa analipwa bonus. Mkulima wa chai analipwa bonus. Ati mkulima wa miwa akilipwa bonus, ati watu wanaanza kuuliza maswali. Hawa watu wametembelewa na shetani. Na tuwaambie washindwe kabisa. Ati wanauliza ati rais ametoa wapi pesa ya kulipa bonus wakulima wa miwa? Kwani wale wanalipwa wakulima wa chai bonus pesa yao inatoka wapi? Na wale wanalipwa pesa ya maneno ya bonus ya kahawa pesa yao inatoka wapi? Mahali pesa ya kahawa inatoka, mahali pesa ya chai inatoka, ndio pesa ya miwa inatoka. Ndio wakulima wote wakuwe sawa. So ule mtu ya sijui katikati sijui watermelon, ati anauliza maswali hiyo. Kichwa yake ni mzuri kweli mkipima? Ati anapinga, ati huyu mtu ametoa wapi pesa ya kulipa. Mimi nataka nimwambie huyo mtu ya watermelon, nimwambie mambo ikisimamiwa vizuri. Mimi nilipromise tutaweka usimamizi sawa sawa. Mkulima analipwa, halipwi na serikali. Wafanyikazi wanalipwa, hawalipwi na serikali. Bonus imelipwa, haijalipwa na serikali, inalipwa na kampuni. Because we have put proper management, making sure that we make sure those sectors are working. Na tutawaonyesha. Na sio Mumias peke yao wamecomplain mapema. Hata Nzoia hapa wataanza kulipa bonus. Hata ile ya Sony itaanza kulipa bonus. hata ile ya Chemelil itaanza kulipa bonus, hata ile ya Moroni itaanza kulipa bonus, hata ya Busia itaanza kulipa bonus. Yes, kwa sababu unajua hawa watu wanataka wananchi tu waendelee kuwa maskini, ndio ati wapange nyinyi ati mwafanye maandamano. Sasa hiyo,
this is not the first time, and sometimes communication analysts say when you lose rationale, then you simply slide to emotions. This is not the first time that the head of state is appearing highly emotional and very, running a very emotional appeal on this matter. I remember even the discussion about vaccination. It was raised, people were insulted, people mbaya, people were stupid and this and that. That was the same thing when the Adani issue was raised. It was matusi. Even on the issue of abductions, it is matusi. So, honestly, what exactly is wrong? Because this was just leading a question. Now, one thing, the reason why I'm saying is that the president is a symbol of national unity. And being that is a symbol of national unity, I strongly believe that Kalonzo Musyoka is also a national leader like him that also have a backing. The language and the rhetoric going on in Western Kenya is flaming the country for no apparent reason. And the tea bonuses, let me just explain something about these tea bonuses. Tea bonuses from Kenya are received from exported tea and little sold in Kenya, which is about 5%. They're not announced by the president. Now, the mere fact that William Ruto went to launch bonuses from Mumias Sugar is what raised the question as to whether we are using public money to run political campaigns. Mount Kenya, people have been receiving bonuses. It's true. The sugar industry has been lagging, and that is why they have not been giving bonuses. And it can be true that probably it came from Mumias Sugar. But I think the best way to have done it is they would have given the bonuses, the company peane, then those who have received to come back and thank probably the president for the good management. But if you follow the event in Mumias, even management of Mumias company never talked about the bonuses. Let me tell you, no one even knows how much were the bonuses. No one even knows. They were told, go and check your KCB account. So the manner in which it was done, it is not wrong for someone to ask. Now when you ask this question, you start the politics of us versus them. That people from that region don't want you to achieve, to receive this. And I'm wondering, where do you draw the line? Why do we have us versus them while you are the head of state? Believe me, when he was talking there, those residents were looking at. Remember, those ones in Busia, they was in Busia, didn't even receive those bonuses. They didn't even receive. Now, the way the president is talking about Mumias itapata, Trans Nzoia itapata, I don't know, Butali itapata, Ucha itapata, it appears like it is not profit from the company. It is something that the president is giving. And there is nothing absolutely wrong. You can still support Western Kenya, but doesn't mean you create an us versus them. But I want to tell you, hii mchezo si mpya. I realized the president was responding and attacking Rigathi the whole week.
Best ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Ndio shughuli yetu iwe ni kupanga maendeleo ya Kenya, sio kubishana mambo ya siasa. Munasemaje watu wa hapa Busia? Munasema tuungane ama munataka tuendelee kutengana? Tuungane pamoja. Hebu ni wale wanasema tuungane, tufanye kazi pamoja. Kabisa. Si ndio jameni? Hapo kwa umoja ya Wakenya ndio tutapata kufaulu vile tunapeleka taifa letu la Kenya mbele. Hakuna haja ya migawanyiko. Na mimi nataka niwaambie wale viongozi wote wafisadi, wale incompetent, wale viongozi ambao ni wezi, wale ambao ni wa ukabila na wale ambao ni wa ubinafsi, hawana nafasi katika Kenya hii. Ndio mliona wale walikuwa wanajaribu hiyo biashara walitembea wakitembea. Ama namna gani? Tunaelewana? Sasa wanajaribu kutupatia lecture huko msituni. Wewe ambaye some incompetent people who were removed because of incompetence and because of corruption and because of theft and because of ethnicity and negative personal things, you want to give us lectures on how Kenya should go where? Hakuna nafasi ya watu kama hawa. Ama mnasemaje watu wa Busia? Mnataka watu wakuja watuambie hapa mambo ya shares na mambo ya mitego? Ati hawa wa Kenya hawafai kwa sababu hawana shares. Hii Kenya si nchi ya shares, hii Kenya ni ya Wakenya wote. Ndio tumetengeneza serikali ya kuunganisha Wakenya wote. Na nitasimama kidete. Hakuna mtu atatusukuma kutoka mahali ya kuunganisha Wakenya. Hakuna siasa ya uchuki na ukabila na kuwatenganisha Wakenya itafaulu Kenya hii.
So, I'm just wondering because if you take development and you want people to buy your development agenda, then why do you slide to name calling and the character assassination? The presidency, and that is why I still believe William Ruto need to come back to Nairobi and work. Come back to the State House and work. Because hiyo matusi unafanya huko, you are the head of state. So even as you die, you're not campaigning, you're the president, but the kind of tone and the kind of language. Do you know even Rigathi-Kalonzo, his president is William Ruto? The same you and me. The president is a president for all of us. So this character of going in one place and attacking, and it's not making sense. And let me say this. Listen to this video. What Rigathi-Kalonzo have said here.
With the consultations, they are causing a lot of jitters. You can hear everybody now is just abusing me in Western Kenya. The president and his team went there for a development tour, and Rigathi-Kalonzo has become the center of that tour. Instead of discussing roads, they are discussing Rigathi-Kalonzo. Instead of discussing water, they are discussing Rigathi-Kalonzo. Instead of discussing sugarcane farming, they are discussing Rigathi-Kalonzo. And I want to tell the people of Western Kenya to be very, very careful, to learn from us. The president was here for 5 years. He would spend 6 days here, he would spend 7 days here, and that's the way he convinced us to vote for him. So you be very careful. You can learn from us. You are just being wooed the way he wooed us. Now he doesn't come here because we know him. You know, he cannot repeat the same thing again because he was here. He was here in church every Sunday. He was in every village. He knew every road by name. Now he's disappeared because the people of here have known him. They have known that all those things he told us were not true. They were lies. And he cheated us and he conned us. So I want to tell the people of Western Kenya to be careful. We have seen that script before. What is happening is what happened to Mount Kenya region. So he is 6 days, 7 days in Western, promising this, promising that. Nothing will come out of it. And I would like to ask the president and those in Western Kenya, please deal with the issues in Western Kenya. There is a road infrastructure that is very wanting. There is no water. There are no drugs. People have problems. The sugarcane factories need to be sorted out. Rigathi-Kalonzo is not the solution of the problems in Western Kenya. A whole president and the whole brigade goes to a whole region. Instead of discussing development, they are just discussing Rigathi-Kalonzo. Rigathi-Kalonzo is not a road in Busia. He is not a water pan in Vihiga. He is not a hospital in Luanda. How come you have trivialized a whole tour of a region to one person? You are just discussing a person instead of discussing the issues that are a challenge to the people of that area. And also it's good to respect the people. When you talk about corruption, the people of this country, including our grade 4 child, knows who is corrupt. You don't even to ask them who is corrupt in this country. When you talk about incompetence, the people of Kenya know who is incompetent. That is where we are as a country. That is sheer incompetence. If you ask people in 2 years what has happened in this country, that is sheer incompetence. So when you talk about people who are corrupt, people who are incompetent, just take the mirror, look at yourself, because the people of Kenya know better. They know exactly where we are. People are very intelligent.
Is what Mwananchi needs to hear. Kenya Kwanza spent 4 years between 2018 to 2022 attacking Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga in Mount Kenya. The same thing. He went to Mount Kenya carrying the Bible through the churches, combing through, giving women groups money, giving gas cylinders, sewing machines, and several other things. And at that time, it was attacking Uhuru and Raila. Wao ni wadosi, hawataki tuwasaidie, wao ni dynasty. It was the same thing of us versus them. Now Rigathi is saying something that is very keen. Since October last year, the president has never stepped to Mount Kenya, while he has spent almost a whole month in Central, in Western. He, after realizing that Central Kenya is gone, he's gone back to Western to run the same politics of us versus them. And now, the people to be attacked is Rigathi and Kalonzo. I can tell you, after Mount Western, I understand the president is supposed to go to Coast. It will be the same script of Rigathi-Kalonzo. Rigathi-Kalonzo. Now, this politics only tell you that there is nothing called development going on. And that is why I'm insisting. Stop lying about this development. I'm launching this, I'm launching that. It's not it. You're not talking about those projects. You're talking about personalities. And you are the president. So on this one, this is a very unfamiliar analysis. The speech of unity. You cannot talk about unity and insults and abuses in the same sentence. Kalonzo Musyoka also commands a following in Kambani. The same Rigathi Gachagua also commands a following. The same way you respect Raila and you believe that with Raila you have the Nyanza. I think the politics of unity cannot be laced by the attacks and the insults. That is not presidential. And even if you look at the audience, I know there are some people, some UDA colors that have been fellows in UDA colors there, but it is not the right thing. But I want to tell you this. This tribal card politics must be rejected by Kenyans. And if you look at the faces of even the crowd in Western Kenya, they are not really buying in it. It is just because the president is there. Why Kenyans must reject this politics of us versus them is because the launched projects, the Ruto is using us versus them because the launched projects lacks impact. I want to believe there are projects that were launched immediately, the third week after inauguration. It cannot be that 2 years after inauguration, we are still launching, but no statement of a complete project. Now, this is where some of us draw the line. This is where Wanjiku needs to draw the line. It cannot be just launching. Whatever is being launched, that in that county industrial park that is being launched in Busia, it was started by Moses Kuria. Moses Kuria even launched it. Number two, I think Ruto has realized that the middle class is not on his side due to the bad policies. The middle class is the most affected by the deductions, the NSSF deductions that have been upscaled and several others. But then he has resorted to the village folks. That is why he's creating an us versus them. The public must be very wary. The other issue is, there is the issue of unmet pledges. Because so many pledges are unmet, there is just hawking going on. Peddling hope. And hope peddling is a political strategy that is used over time. It is time for Mwananchi to look through and interrogate and ask himself or herself the right questions. Are we going to take into this direction? In the Western country, the Western wing must be very wary. Whatever happened last time is what is going on. And Ruto has decided, because Central Kenya have gone, he's going to Western. Rigathi-Kalonzo Matiang'i must now consolidate and go to the ground, because they now have to understand, and they know that Ruto knows they are the threat. Ruto now understands that ODM is not going to field a candidate, and the threat is Kalonzo Rigathi. So that Kalonzo Rigathi Matiang'i, it is a matter of time. They must consolidate, they must get their messaging and hit the road. Otherwise, the president has gone rampage.